number one, how to handle stress. Again, I don't think really any of the fucking bigger gurus talk about it. Like, this shit is stressful. How are you handling stress in your life? Thought auditing is something I've had to like start doing. Like, why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? To where last night I went to a think tank at 8:30 at night and just laid in the float tank for an hour.
Yeah.
Just like thinking through, like, bro, why are you so fucking stressed? Like, what is worrying you so much? And I hashed a bunch of that out. Being overwhelmed and then handling one thing at a time.
Okay.
I mean, how do you handle your stress?
I really try to manage when something makes me feel a certain way. I think, why does it make me feel this way? It's really awareness, being mentally aware and self-aware, and then understanding, having different outlets of understanding how you can handle those things. So with me, for a while, I just got overwhelmed with just a lot of tasks. And so really it's like, well, why am I becoming overwhelmed with all these tasks? And it was a flaw that I was doing too much, right? On my own, not asking for help, or even when asking for help, not giving people the steps on how to help me. Yeah. Because it was overwhelming in itself. But what I've learned recently is in the mornings, everyone knows like my morning routine. I love to listen to podcasts and listen to books and stuff like that on my way to Dutch Bros, where I go get my coffee. There's no plug there. I just fucking love Dutch. But I stopped putting on podcasts that talked about real estate, because when I woke up in the morning, there's a thing that needs to take place in order for your day to be great, in a sense. And you have to build up your, you got to put yourself in a positive state of mind, or put yourself, your mental game has to be right before you can learn something. And I started realizing when I would put on a podcast that talks specifically on building out businesses and systems and processes, and just people talking about their story, I'm really just listening to someone essentially just talk to me, but my mind's not right yet. Okay. And so I started listening to books first, and on just like, Go Giver, and just how to be a good person, and how to give. And it puts me in a positive state of mind. So now I am capable of receiving how to make my business better. But before you can get into steps on how to build something, you got to make sure that your mind is in the right state of mind. So I listen to books that work on your mental ability early on in the morning before 100%. I move on to something that is actionable for me to do.
100%, dude. For me, handling stress, I haven't been stressed like this in, I don't think, a long time. Yeah. I was telling you, bro, I was up the other day at fucking 5 a.m. talking to my mentor, like, oh my God, like freaking out. Yeah. Just freaking out about everything. And then like I really have had to like sit there and think of like, okay, why are you so stressed out, bro? You're making more money than you ever have. And like that saying, everybody should be making more money than they ever have before. If you're in the space, right? That means you're growing. Yeah. But like I'm making pretty good money. Our businesses are doing good. And then I was sitting there thinking last night, like, okay, why am I so fucking stressed? And I identified it towards the same thing as you. I'm not pinpointing just one problem. Yeah. Right. So I'm overwhelmed by being overwhelmed. Legitimately. Like that's the phrase that I use with some people. Like, you're busy being overwhelmed because you're so overwhelmed. Yeah. And it just is a constant, never ending fucking cycle. To where with me is like, okay, well, you haven't pinpointed one problem that you want to fix. You're trying to attack all these things. And we always say focus. But like, for me, I don't want to say I'm a perfectionist, but I want this shit to work really, really well. To where I need to get it to, and it goes into the delegating thing again, bro. Get it to 80. Someone can do it at 80, then pass it off. But I wasn't picking a single point to actually work on. I was just jumping from thing to thing to thing, and then we weren't ever moving the ball forward as far as our problems in the company. And I don't know why it took me an hour of sitting there in a flotation tank to fucking hash that out. But at the same time, you never really slow down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to find time to slow down. And it's like, oh man, why am I feeling this way? Why do I feel so overwhelmed? Why am I so anxious? Why do I feel this way? Toward generally, and I still have yet to hear a guru talk about, oh yeah, well, I handle stress this way. They'll act like, oh no, this shit isn't stressful. You know, like we just kind of make money and everything's all good. To where I don't know, it's just not like that at all. To where, especially like when you start getting employees, bro, I can tell you right now that I have 20 people internally who I can just tell you right now they're not doing their job. I have no control of that. We do our best possible way. But when you start getting at scale, someone's just They're humans.
Yeah, someone's going to do something wrong.
Someone's going to do something wrong, and you got to come to terms with that. And again, how can we grow better? How can we teach them better? But then, at the same, like I heard Tony Robbins talk about it.
Oh, for sure.
He was like, bro, we have so many people. I've had to come to terms with knowing that people aren't doing their job the right way, or else I'm always just going to be fucking tearing the world apart and just chewing ass all day.
Yeah.
You can't control, like you can only help the humans so much. And if the person's not doing it the way you want them to, then obviously you just have to fire them.
So what was your solution to being busy, being stressed out?
Identifying pinpointing just one problem, knock out the problem, then go to the next, knock out the problem, then go to the next, knock out the problem, then go to the next.
So what would you say the reasoning for you not being able to initially pinpoint the problem?
I don't think I've ever had this many problems in my life, but it comes with growth.
So would you say that, well, shit, I guess you kind of did say it, you didn't pinpoint it early on because you hadn't had so many problems before.
Like having to legit like problem. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, it goes into where I'm only thinking about my fucking problems, but I'm not ever thinking about the solutions.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And you get being overwhelmed, and then you're in the wrong state of mind. To where if I would, again, I had to step back, audit myself, like, all right, bro, what's going on internally? Like, why are you feeling this way?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I figured out. And then say, okay, well, yeah, you're not focused on the solutions. That's why you're freaking out so much.
Focusing on problems.
You're focusing on the problems. You aren't focused on the solutions. Pick a solution and then just think about it and then pinpoint it, right? Because we're not at the point to where, and like our team is awesome. But right, I was listening to another podcast the other day, like, bro, you're the CEO of a company. It's hard for you to run multiple companies at a time just because that shower time is CEO time, right? To where like it's occupying your head and you come up with this new idea that helps you guys.